I know they had the Vocaloid concert. That was really cool. They had like a whole holographic performance. All right, Squeezer. What roller is that? Oh, it's the carbon. Me out here like, oh, what is... Let me adjust my prescription. Wow, that was wild. There goes Psycho. Oh, and then I fell in the water. Undefeated, except by my own humor. Let's see. Yeah, Brella or Slosher is probably going to be the next major weapon class I do. They're both really interesting, and personally, I don't think there's much that gets funnier than lol, here's a bucket, have fun murdering. Alright. Staying with Kaze. And Sugar Bear. Sugar Bear sounds like my dream partner. The big bear who pays me money. Oh no, a communication error. Listen, working with a grizzly bear is really cool in practice until you bring your honey sandwich to work and find yourself brutally mauled, and HR doesn't do anything about it because they call it a microaggression. But, like, how did I know that wearing a Save the Bees t-shirt was the same thing as, like, you know, being insensitive to Smokey? He's the one who does. Anyway, enough about microaggressions, let's commit some macroaggression. You ever watch the Muppets TV show where Fozzie experiences a microaggression? Fozzie commits microaggressions. Fozzie goes, waka waka, after everything. You'd be like, what, you'd walk into a room and someone would be like, you know, you'd be at a freaking hospital and it'd be like, I'm sorry, the diagnosis, it's cancer. And Fozzie would be there and be like, cancer? I thought he was a Virgo! Waka waka! So, frankly, he deserves all of the microaggressions and a few macroaggressions. I like that Gonzo is a whatchamacallit, no one knows what Gonzo is, and that's the joke at this point. And also that, like, Rizzo is just hanging with him. I mean, it sucks that he's an informant, but what do you expect from a rat? Ooh, Wipeout. We might have won that, actually. This proves that talking about the Muppets and or Grizzly Bears is like a 30% performance and I can watch it twice. Thank you for my Kool-Aid. I got my Roaring Waters juice box. Yeah, that's the Endless. It's really good because it has that like existential horror rather than constant jump scares. I have opinions about horror movies, y'all. My opinion is that if you need to shock your audience every 2 seconds, you are trying to appeal to goldfish and children. And you should try actually creating atmospheric horror instead. It will last longer, and it will be worth a rewatch. I have never rewatched a jump scare movie. Any movie that relied on jump scares, I have never felt called to rewatch it. I know it in very general terms. Ooh, get smacked. Oh no, I got smacked. Oh no, they tried to Blau-High blast their way out of that. Oh my god, yeah, the voice actors in Xenoblade are obnoxiously British. Like, my god, I like me a good Brit as much as the next person, but that accent is so thick you could fucking make tea with it. Like, it is just not it. Double kill. I'm gonna go ahead and harass them with some ink. I'm going to kill the carbon roller. That carbon roller is just kind of jumping, which is kind of funny. And then it's kind of sad when you think about the fact that he has a whole team that is could be made up of literally anyone else who doesn't get killed every 2 seconds. And there he goes again. Hi. Goodbye. You can call me Windows. Wow, hey, check it out. I have the answer to snipers. It's called indirect fire. the ability to just delete people from behind walls will never not be funny to me. Goodbye, one sniper. Goodbye, two snipers.
Almost.
Wow, Dark Tetra's going hard. Double. Gotcha, pork roast.
No.
I don't know. I like pulled pork. That's actually one of the things that I am unironically appreciate about the South is like barbecue and pork roasts.
Damn.
There goes their team. If animals could gain sentience and speak, would they say? What would they say, and would they take over as dominant species on this planet since they would and could topple humans? So here's the thing. If animals gained sentience and could speak, you assume that would, like, make them not want to, like, murder each other? Like, I've seen Beastars. That society is not stable.
We've also seen Zootopia, and that society is not realistic.
Or stable. Like fundamentally, I think the first thing that they would get stuck on is like, hey, it's not a morbid thing.
But like,
I think Tip would take over the world.
After they die, that is a Mormon thing. I'm going to get us more water.
Okay. The whole animals, there's no humans in either thing. Yeah, that doesn't mean that they like, that's because it's all allegorical and the humans were so, but to your point, Star, I think that like what the more interesting question is, where would the alliances fall, you know? Like, where would people, because I feel like you would have carnivores who would be one faction, and they would probably ally themselves with scavengers, because the scavengers would be willing to feed. We all watch Beastars, and we all want to kiss Jack.
Okay, I have not watched Beastars.
I've watched Beastars season 1, but apparently there's more. But my point is, like, I think that the carnivores and the scavengers would end up kind of becoming a cooperative faction, because the scavengers would be willing to eat the, you know, rotten remains of whatever they hunt. And I think that the omnivores and the herbivores would probably gang up together, because the omnivores wouldn't want carnivores to consolidate power. And then when you consider what animals are in those groups, so the dogs would be in omnivores, so you'd have the canids, wolves, and the like. And you'd have also pandas and bears.
Pandas are...
Yeah. Pandas are omnivores. They eat meat, but they also eat bamboo. Most bears are actually omnivores, where they will eat plant material when they are gathering, but will also happily either scavenge a corpse or actively predate, as grizzly bears often do. Sometimes it's a little bit more of a carnivore split than omnivore when you have, for example, polar bears, where there's very little freely available food that isn't predated.
I mean, but Starry, listen. Deer will often eat chickens and like eat chicken bones.
I mean, there is a certain amount that like. Also, we're talking about like. There's still like size considerations too. Like most animals are pretty small, and just because they have sentience doesn't mean that they suddenly have like, I don't know, opposable thumbs to operate weapons with. They could probably come up with their own weapons, but that would require, you know, industry and metalworking and just, you know, it's a lot more than just sentience that has enabled humans to become the dominant thrust on planet Earth. There's also been a lot of, you know, tactical and societal developments. Things like writing, for example, because just because the animals gain sentience does not mean they would immediately have a system of writing or a way of proliferating knowledge. And so even if we do suppose that an animal figured out metallurgy or how to, you know, withdraw resources from the ground, they would not intrinsically be able to pass that information on, and that would be devastating. Because then all that knowledge would be lost, you know, in a single generation. Or in the universe where, like, it's not lost in a generation and passed down, you know, orally or something, you can have something similar to what happened in the African diaspora, where because something... Also, I want to talk about the chicken episode of Pizza. Oh, yeah, sorry. That was unfortunately, you used the FE word, so Automod caught it and was like, no. But yeah, no, basically, the answer is that animals still probably wouldn't take over because the sudden ability to pontificate about the nature of reality does not realistically translate into a knowledge of metallurgy or ability to replicate some of the very significant cultural and societal feats that humans have generated.